Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Voice of Crypto's daily live session where we talk about all things crypto, blockchain, Web3. And in today's episode, we're, of course, at Ethereum's price action, whether ETH bulls can overcome bears in the short term. We will also be taking a look at the top news pieces from the day. But before that, a quick dive into the crypto market, analyzing the top cryptocurrencies, their price action, and where we will go from here on this fresh Monday. Usually, Monday price action isn't a lot. The market activity is a lot slower as compared to the weekend. Today, we can see that the global crypto market cap is down by 0.48% on a day on day basis, oscillating at about 1.63 trillion US dollar. The total crypto market volume spiked a little bit by over 7% in the last 24 hours, is around the 39 billion US dollar mark. The DeFi volumes made 10.66% of the total crypto market's 24-hour volume, while stablecoins made 89% of the total crypto market's 24-hour volume. Bitcoin dominance is once again above the 50% mark and noted a slight uptick in the last 1 day or so. Moving on, a look at Bitcoin suggests that while it is up from the lower bounds, the lower over 40K, 40.8K bounds, we are still down on a daily basis by 0.32%. On a weekly, however, Bitcoin has shown strength. It has shown some sort of an improvement in terms of price and is holding 3.5% gains on a week-on-week basis. Ethereum is, however, down by over 4% on the weekly basis, still managing to make the cut when it comes to short-term price action. Not a lot of losses or gains on the short-term period for ETH at the moment. A look at some of the top altcoins on a daily basis suggests that there's not a lot of action in the market, especially for most of the altcoins in the top 10. Avalanche and Cardano, of course, are hit still. Not a lot of movement on the weekly as well. Avalanche was recently hit after Avalanche's CEO's X account was hacked, and hackers were able to post certain stuff on the CEO's account, and that sort of led to a little bit of drain in terms of price for AVAX. Solana is trying to make it above the 100 US dollar mark, but it's still struggling for that. But it has made a lot of recovery. We can see that there are 10% gains still for Solana on the weekly basis. Solana had almost touched the $80 mark and is now back above the 95 US dollar mark, currently trading at 97 US dollar at the moment. XRP, not a lot of price action either on the daily or on the weekly. Same goes for Cardano. AVAX is down by over 2% on the daily, making 11% gains on a week-on-week basis. Dogecoin is managing to make a little bit of gains in the market, but not substantial gains to bring Dogecoin price above. Doge is still down on the week-on-week basis. Tron, we can see a little bit of gains are happening over 1% on the daily, over 4% on the weekly. Polkadot, similar sort of gains as compared to Tron, over 1% on the daily, over 4% on the weekly. Chainlink, not a lot to look forward to. And same goes for Polygon's Matic, Toncoin, ICP, Shiba Inu, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, all of these top 20 cryptocurrencies by market cap. Not a lot of action in terms of price movement on the daily. Quite a few altcoins, however, are maintaining their weekly price in terms of gains. And we will, of course, take a closer look at our top gainers of the day, of the week. But before that, a quick look at the top news of the day. One of the biggest news coming in from the market was that analysts are really optimistic about momentum price momentum for Bitcoin as well as larger cryptocurrencies. This happened after Bitcoin ETFs in and around Asia are seeing a lot of hope. And this happened after, of course, the US approval. Hong Kong has voiced the most interest in achieving the reality of a Bitcoin ETF approval. And of course, the US approval has moved things faster. That said, Bitcoin whales boosted the coin stash by um, a staggering 3 billion in January. That is what the data shows. Bitcoin ETFs have experienced net inflows of about over 800 million US dollar, but Bitcoin whales increased their holdings by 3 billion US dollar this year. And this was recent data by Into the Block, which suggests that while Bitcoin ETFs have seen net inflows, Bitcoin whales have seen an increase of around 76,000 Bitcoin, which is equivalent to 3 billion US dollar in 2024. Whales include any entity or individual or fund, including ETFs, holding over 1,000 BTCs. So any account, individual or entity, holding over 1,000 Bitcoin in their stash or wallet would be considered Bitcoin whale, a Bitcoin whale. And there was a massive uptick in terms of their holdings. If we compare in January, there was a constant chart that we saw throughout last year. But as we saw the ETF approval sort of go through in US, we saw a massive uptick in that, amounting to 3 billion US dollar, which is a lot. A lot of observers and investment banks, including Standard Chartered, expect that the recently launched ETFs can pull billions of dollars in investments, lifting the cryptocurrencies, that is Bitcoin's market price, to about 100,000 by the end of year, that is by the end of 2024. These are, of course, predictions that banks or investment agencies are making. But for comparison, we should know that the current price of Bitcoin is a little over 42,000 US dollar. So this would mean that Bitcoin price would have to make a massive uptick and cross over the all-time high that it achieved in 2021, which is about 69,000 US dollar, and overcome that, make a new all-time high at about 100,000 US dollar, which is the prediction that a lot of market analysts as well as banks are making. In another news, Unibot boosts token value with Solana ecosystem draw. And that's not it. The Unibot holders are set to receive 80% of the supply of Solana-based Unisol through a snapshot and claim mechanism. In another news, of course, Bitcoin Bitcoin price saw a lot of long bets, which saw Bitcoin price rise above or close to the 43,000 US dollar mark. And another news came in from Stellar Foundation, where Stellar's foundation supports delay of smart contract after another bug was found in their system. So hi everyone, I'm back, and apologies for the short break. There were some technical issues. Thank you again for tuning right back in. We're back on Voice of Crypto with fresh news from the crypto blockchain Web3 market. And without further ado, I will take a quick look at the top gainers and losers of the day. From a price perspective, there have been quite a few gainers on this fresh Monday, we saw Conflux, Manta Network, Sats, Sui, Flare, IOTA, and Celsius in the top gainers. If you haven't already checked it out, do go ahead and follow Voice of Crypto on voiceofcrypto.online, which is our website where we did an in-depth analysis into the top cryptocurrencies that are set to rally throughout this week, and we spoke about IOTA and a few others. So if you haven't already checked it out, go ahead and check out Voice of Crypto's website, that is voiceofcrypto.online, where we have done a detailed analysis about this. In terms of the top weekly gainers, we can see Manta, Sui, Conflux, Helium, IOTA, and I can proudly comment that Voice of Crypto was able to list three of these top gainers in our top coins to watch out for this week. So make sure that you check out that article on VOC where you can get a lot of information about what coins you need to be wary of throughout this week. We do these weekly articles and push them out on each Monday. So if you want a closer look about the market and a deeper analysis as to which cryptocurrencies would do well or have a chance to rally, then do check out voiceofcrypto.online, where we had already spoken about Sui, Helium, IOTA, and these cryptocurrencies, in fact, made it to the top gainers of last week and are still rallying on a day on day basis. These have been, of course, some of the top gainers of the day. We will now quickly jump right back into Ethereum price action and see what Ethereum bulls are up to at the moment. From a purely price-based perspective, we can see that on a week-on-week basis, Ethereum is down quite a bit. Ethereum sort of left the 2,300 US dollar mark and fell below that to oscillating at around 2250, above or below that in terms of price. On a month-on-month basis, we can easily spot Ethereum still testing this resistance of 2,300. Once Ethereum, and we can see that on a weekly, this has acted as a good resistance for ETH. After touching the 2,300 mark, ETH price bounced back into the lower zone. But once we're able to clear this resistance, we can expect further gains to about the 2,500 mark. This, of course, would be more likely as we see Bitcoin price momentum improving. On a yearly basis, we're still up in terms of price for ETH, but we can see that ETH hasn't really recovered from this support level at the 2250 mark. And if there's a price fall below this, we can expect ETH price to fall below the 2K mark. But owing to the anticipation around the spot ETH ETF, among other things, we can expect Ethereum price to rise in the short term, especially with the Bitcoin halving less than 75 days away from today. There's a lot to look forward in the market in terms of price gains or a positive narrative or momentum. So stay tuned for that. For today, this is it in terms of market updates. Thank you so much for joining Voice of Crypto. Do join us tomorrow as well for our daily live session, as well as we will be going live tomorrow with a really interesting guest. So if you want to know more about DeFi, if you want to know more about Web3 and how we're navigating these treacherous seas, do join us tomorrow for this live session. Stay tuned to Voice of Crypto and make sure that if you aren't already following our social media, make sure to follow that because we will be updating you about our live session on our social media platforms soon. Thanks again for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow with fresh updates from the crypto, Web3, and blockchain market.